Good afternoon. I want to take a couple of minutes to show you a tool that I use every day in my frog trading. It's called the Channel tool, and it's available on the Thinkorswim platform. And I'll show you how to set that up in just a second, but this is exactly what it is. Here I have a channel that's set to the standard deviation width for, in this instance, CAT at 48 cents, and I have channels above as well as channels below, all 48 cents apart. I set this up prior to market open. That way I can take my channel that's perfectly horizontal and set to 48 cents, drag it over to the hard right edge, and wait for the market to open. At the same time, as I pointed out in another video, in Active Trader, I have my trigger with bracket set to 48 cents and the number of shares I want to trade set to the number that coincides with my risk, my R value divided by 48 cents, the standard deviation, so that when the market opens, I'm ready to go. So let me close Active Trader portion. Let's drag to the right, get close to today's open. Market's already closed, but I would have this set up on the hard right edge so that once the market opens, this first bar, then I can take my channel, left click on it to drag it. It looks like it's going up. So I would set the bottom of the channel down here to 85.35, which coincides with the low of that bar. Let's zoom in a little bit. And we can see in the second bar that it's a down bar. So then I would drag it back down. Now it looks like it's going to go down. We don't know which way it's going to go. We never do. But with this tool, I can drag it and quickly see that hanging it from the high of the day, standard deviation below is at 85.16. So at 85.15, I'd want to be short. So I would go into Active Trader and click at 85.15 to put in my sell order to see if we're going to get hit. That's if I'm trading a leapfrog. So next bar is another down bar, and sure enough, I would be tripped in at 85.15. Now, where to set my stop? I'm not using trailing stop because it would automatically trail down. But as I pointed out in another video, it's impossible to drag your stop down anything other than having it trail. So I like to do it manually. So to quickly and easily see where I need to place my stop manually, I just drag my channel down to the low of this bar since we would be short at 85.13. Then I can pull my stop down to 85.61. The next bar, trade still going in our favor. We've had maximum favorable excursion to 85.02. I know my stop needs to be at 85.50. Next bar, another nice down bar. It's looking like we're going to do well. And I know my stop now needs to be to 85.36. Remember, we were short at 85.15. So we are a little more than halfway to our target, which is down here. How do I know where my target is? If I drag this to 85.15, I know my target is at 84.67. We're not quite there. So let's go one more bar. Had a little better improvement, another penny. Drag my stop down again, another penny. Next bar, up bar. I don't do anything with my stop. I never move it back up. It stays where it is. Next bar, kind of going sideways now. Next bar, another down move to 85.74.5. My stop comes down to 85.22. One more bar, up, big up. My stop is at 85.23. This bar came to 85.21 within 2 cents. We may get stopped out on the next bar. Well, the next bar was another down move to 84.65, which if we move this up to 85.15 where our entry was, we can see that we would have been filled at T1, which is where I take all my profits. So that's how I use the graphic tool. See where my target needs to go and see where I'm going to get taken into the trade or where I'll get stopped out of the trade and stop and reverse. So how do I set up this tool? It's pretty simple. Let's just remove this one and let's start from the beginning. So to access the channel tool, there are 3 different ways I can do it. One is down here, which this shows what the active tool is. which if I choose one of these, it will remain on this active tool, which in this case would be channel. You can see it switched to channel. I like to leave mine on pointer. The other way is to use the drawings in the upper right hand corner, and I would click on the radio button to choose channel. Again, that will leave it set on channel. So what I prefer to do is right click in the chart, anywhere in the chart, and go to add single drawing, and then drop down to channel, which will give me my channel tool, and then drag it to the right. I try to do my best to get it set to horizontal, but here's what I'll do. I'll set it, you can see when the lines overlap to get it horizontal, but you don't have to be that accurate because there's an easy way to change it, and we're going to be going into this edit dialog box anyway. So left click again, drag up, left click, and here I am. Here's my channel. But wait a second, you say. It doesn't have the intermediate lines. It doesn't have the extra lines for above and below for additional standard deviations. Let's fix that right now. So right click on either line of the channel, edit properties. It opens up this properties dialog box. Here's also how we can easily change the beginning point and the end point so that we get horizontal lines. So I'll just make the beginning point match the end point by adding 4. So if I click OK, now it's perfectly horizontal. So right click again, edit properties. Also I see my height, amazingly enough, is at 48 cents. I didn't make that happen. But if it were anything other than 48, it's a simple matter to come in and set it to 48. And I recommend you do that because frequently it'll be off just a smidgen, a portion of a cent. So to be exact, set it to that. But how do we get our intermediate lines? Here are the 3 intermediate lines, and they're set to hidden. So let's uncheck hidden for each one of those. I like to set these to a yellow color. So I set each one to yellow, as well as I like the style to be the dashed line. So I set it to dashed. If I just click on these, it switches those to dashed as well. But what we're still missing are lines above and below. So to add those lines, we add curve. And in this case, our curve is a straight line. We're going to add 5 curves. So let's just click this 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's change the first one to a +1 just by typing 1. Second one to 2. Third one, 3. Now for our lines below, we're going to put in a -1 and -2. The -1 and -2, we want their color to be red, so we'll leave them at the default. Our 1, 2, and 3, I like to have those green. So I'm changing it to green, green, and green. And I leave these lines as just a solid line with 1. That's fine. I'm going to save this as a default so I don't have to come in on each new one and change it. So save that as the default. Then each time I use this tool, it will show me my 6 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or adding in these additional ones, more than 6. So click OK, and there are now all of our lines. We have our intermediate values just in the light yellow, +1, +2, +3, 0, -1, -2. So this is what I drag around. So that's how I set up this tool to use it each day. Very simple. Let me pop up this dialog box one more time so that you can see exactly what we added. Again, we added lines for 1, 2, 3, -1 and -2, making the negative ones red, the positive ones green, the intermediate values yellow, making sure none of them are hidden. Change the style on the intermediate values to a dash line with 1, and that's all there is to it. And since we set on the default, if I were to come in and add another one by right-clicking on the chart, add single drawing, we've done the channel, dragging it over, and then you can see here that it adds in those lines each time. And here, if I right-click to get to on any one of these lines to get to the Edit Properties dialog, I can come in, confirm that my beginning point and ending point are the same, so it's horizontal, and I can change my value for cat today, 48 cents, click OK, and it snaps to 48 cents again, so I can drag this around. But that's how I use this graphic tool. I hope you find this as helpful as I do. If you are a visually oriented trader, I think you will find it very helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to give me an email, and I wish you great and profitable trading. Thank you.